I married him thinking I'd finally stepped into the calm I had long prayed for. After years of emotional chaos and unpredictable relationships, he felt like a breath of still air, steady, grounded, dependable, safe, and at first, that safety was enough. But slowly, that comfort turned cold. Our conversations became sparse, limited to bills, errands, and daily logistics. The intimacy faded, replaced by a cordial distance. We shared space, but not a life. I began to feel like a shadow in my own home, present, but unnoticed. At first, I blamed the usual culprits: stress, work, age, maybe even the slow fade that comes with time. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was starving for connection. Not just the structure of a relationship, but the warmth, the spark, the feeling of being truly seen. I started to notice other couples, how they laughed together, how their hands found each other without thought. Glances that said, "You matter to me." I envied them. I had everything on paper: a home, a husband, security. But emotionally, I felt empty. Then his son moved in. He was recovering from a breakup, and I braced myself for awkwardness. But he surprised me. He was polite, quiet, helpful, respectful in all the ways that made living together feel easy. He noticed when I looked tired. He complimented my cooking. He asked how I was, and actually waited for the answer. I hadn't felt seen like that in years. At first, it was innocent. Small conversations while tidying up or watching TV. I looked forward to those moments, tiny pockets of warmth in a house that had grown cold. He'd say things like, "That color looks great on you," or "You've got a great laugh." Simple kindness, not flirtation. But it reached a part of me that had gone numb. One night I was at the kitchen table, poking at leftovers when he joined me. We shared a quiet meal, traded stories, laughed. Then he said, "You should laugh more. It really suits you." And just like that, something in me cracked. It wasn't attraction. Not then. It was something deeper. A sense of being alive again. Like I mattered. Then came the night everything changed. My husband was away on business. I was getting water when I passed by my stepson's door, slightly ajar. I heard soft sounds, at first indistinct, then unmistakably intimate. A woman's voice, breathless and low. He was on a video call, shirtless. I froze. Not because I was watching, but because I couldn't look away fast enough. It wasn't what I saw that unsettled me. It was how I reacted. I felt something. Not desire for him, necessarily, but the shock of feeling anything at all. Of being reminded I could feel. I avoided him the next day, ashamed of my reaction. Told myself it was nothing. He was an adult. I should have walked away. But I couldn't shake it. Not because I saw him that way, but because it woke something I thought I'd buried. The longing to be desired, to be noticed, to matter. From there, things shifted. Slowly, quietly. I started paying more attention. How he moved, how he smelled after a shower, how he spoke late at night. I hated myself for it, but I couldn't stop. I dressed differently, told myself it was for me. But it wasn't. He never mentioned that night, never acted strange. That somehow made it worse. There was an unspoken tension between us, charged and invisible, but very real. Then the dam broke. My husband and I had argued. Again. Another night ended in silence and a slammed door. I was drained, curled up on the couch with a half-empty glass of wine. My stepson came home, saw me, and without a word sat nearby. Not close, just present. Then he spoke. "You saw me that night, didn't you?" I couldn't answer. But I didn't deny it. That was enough. He didn't laugh, didn't make it weird. He just looked at me, calm and sure. You haven't looked at me the same since. The room felt like it shifted. I tried to change the subject, to pull away, but then he reached for my hand. That touch, gentle, hesitant, held more intimacy than I'd felt in years. I shouldn't be here, I whispered. He nodded. Then why are we still sitting here? I had no answer, only silence. And in that silence, something inside me gave in. It wasn't about seduction or lust. It was about loneliness, about finally being seen. What happened next was quiet, unscripted. No promises, no declarations, just two people, both broken in their own ways, reaching for something that felt human. Afterward, there was no rush of guilt, no dramatic aftermath, just stillness. He searched my face for some sign, but I couldn't meet his eyes. I got up, walked to the kitchen, and stood there, hands trembling, not from shame, but from relief. I had finally exhaled after years of holding my breath. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, knowing I'd crossed a line, not just in my marriage, but in myself. And the worst part, I didn't want to go back. The next morning, the house felt like a dream I hadn't woken from. He entered the kitchen, cautious, uncertain. He asked if I was okay. I nodded, and that was it. No words could undo what had been done, but for the first time in years, I felt alive.